Go. Let's go.
Hello and welcome, people. Freestyle Football, Episode 6, Game Week
6.
7, Premier League action. Sagar and Aashish. Bro, I think this was the most exciting introduction I've ever given. More
for
exciting than the game week that just went by.
for one of the worst game weeks, right?
Yeah, fantasy football wise, I'd say it was a terrible game week.
Terrible.
But just footballing wise, this was a pretty subdued game week. When you say
Hmm.
like not much happening across the
Across the
country.
board, yeah.
Yeah.
I think for sure, like the highlight of the weekend was the Liverpool City game, which ended in a draw. That kind of shows you um, what happened across the board. Like as I see on the screen as well, I can see whole host of draws or even 2-1s, which look like not so exciting games.
Hmm.
But yeah, like you said, the weekend was filled with games that I couldn't care less about. And it all started off with the fact that the early kickoff was a United game, so that made things even worse.
Ah, do you want to start
So
with the United fixture
no,
against Everton,
no,
or do we
no,
do we start with
no.
someplace else? What about
Let's
Watford?
let's let's start off with let's start off from the bottom, right? Like let's go from the game of the weekend, which
Dude,
was
I
the
think people
most.
will people will drop off after we stop talking about Liverpool versus Man City because there's
Yeah,
nothing worth
yeah.
talking after that.
I think even we should we should stop
We should drop
recording.
off to the
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, because yeah, that's okay. Yeah, no, let's see
Let's
what you can do organically. Let's start off with the
let's
City
get
and Liverpool game though,
yeah, Liverpool and City the most. I think this has become the most awaited fixture
for
on the
sure.
list. Liverpool versus City at Anfield. Like I am a United fan and I'm wearing blue today. That does not mean I represent City.
Yeah,
But the first fixture that I look at on the list is this. I do not. I have stopped waiting for Man United versus Liverpool fixtures
yeah,
because this fixture has given us the goods over the last 5 seasons, and that Pep
absolutely.
Klopp rivalry is taking up a shape of how Alec Ferguson and Wenger used to fight some extraordinary battles, and we still remember some of those amazing Man United versus Arsenal games at Highbury and Old Trafford. This
Yeah,
is just a reminder of that same rivalry, like neck to neck, and teams just going out trying to get a goal. It's not about defending, sitting back, double pivots. It's about how can I get the goal at the next opportunity
yeah.
that I have.
No, you're absolutely right. Like even in the 96 second minute, what am I saying? In the 92nd minute,
What are you thinking, bro? I know we were talking about manga comics, but
yeah, like yeah.
oh, what's
Well,
on your screen at the moment? Like what's on that big monitor?
no, I think yeah, my mind is like somewhere else. But you're right. Like even in the 92nd minute, we saw Liverpool and City both trying to win the game. Like they were not about to down tools and just get out of Anfield with a draw. So yeah, it's testament to the fact that it's one of the most exciting games, let's say, of the Premier League. And yeah, it didn't disappoint at all. End to end stuff. Tactically, two managers going at it. One trying to, I think Jurgen Klopp. We were having this conversation as well on the group, right? Like Jurgen Klopp was getting schooled in the first 30 minutes of the game or the last 30
Hmm.
minutes of the first half,
Hmm.
but went into the second half, went into the half
The
and came
half time.
back. Yeah, went into the halftime and came back strong, and Liverpool looked like they had everything under control. And
I think
yeah,
James
what a
Milner got
game!
a
What a
spanking
game!
in the locker room, no?
Oh yeah. James
From
Milner,
Klopp.
who came in for Trent Alexander-Arnold. I
Trent.
think he was announced ill or something like that, and yeah, he got skinned by what's his face?
Phil
What's
Foden.
his face? Phil
Grealish.
Foden. Yeah, and yeah, it was a game to watch for sure. Like the excitement of the game was out of the world, and the highlight for me was the Salah goal. Oh, what a goal! Like
Oh,
That
that
that second goal was something else.
Mohamed Salah has made it a habit of turning up every
Oh,
single game this season. He's been on fire. Like that guy has I don't know what what he did during the summer break, but
but
he's just
yeah,
come out
he
all
has
guns
come
blazing.
in like yeah, he has come in super hungry. Uh, shooting at the goal every chance he gets and trying to create goals out of nothing. Like that second goal, I still cannot believe how he was able to create space for himself by sitting down two defenders. One of which was, let's say, okay, it was Bernardo Silva, who's not a defender uh, by skill, but sitting down Ruben Diaz was was brilliant to watch. Like yeah. Do you think Salah gets the praise he deserves by everyone who watches the Premier League? Because I sometimes feel he does not. He sometimes somehow goes under the radar, right? Like even though is currently having one of his most prolific seasons for Liverpool, and still people are not talking about him and talking about Lukaku taking Chelsea to the next level, Ronaldo at Manchester United, City with Grealish and everything like that. But Salah for me is one of the best going around.
Salah, I think he's been consistent.
Yeah,
Like ever since he joined Liverpool in 2017, getting into his fifth season, he's been consistent, and he's shown that he's as consistent as Cristiano Ronaldo.
for sure.
And that sort of consistency is pretty hard to replicate if you're not a good player or if you're
Yeah.
not world class. Mohamed Salah is world class. And I remember I was having this discussion with Varun, and Varun was like, there's a group of people on Twitter spaces who are like, I don't care about Salah. I like Neymar. He's like skillful. He can do
What?
tricks. I'm like, dude, Neymar fucking falls on the floor at every opportunity.
Every chance he gets. Yeah.
He's finding it hard to kill it at PSG. Like he went there to be his own man to win the Ballon d'Or, but
Yeah.
he's nowhere there. And here we see Mohamed Salah turning up day in day out. Not pretty on the eyes, very direct, but he gets the goods. And
Yeah.
that's what you
For
need
sure.
at the end of the day. You need a person who can deliver you goals like week in, week out, and make sure that even if you're having a bad game as a team, you have a player who can just create a moment out of nothing
Out of nothing. Yeah. Yeah. For
and
sure.
deliver you 3 points. And frankly, he does that every single game.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Like you said it accurately. Like even the pass he made for Mane to score, right?
Oh, that
And
that
that,
movement.
yeah, that run he was making was like at 100 miles an hour, like at full pace he was running towards the goal, and he still managed to make that pass with pinpoint precision for Mane to just tuck in and score that goal.
Mhm.
So yeah, for me, I think Salah without Salah, Liverpool would be nowhere even
Oh,
close to the top four. Like I
they
feel
would
he
be
is the
there.
man. He is the man. I think he is the man. But you see that, right? Like even though Van Dijk is back for Liverpool this season, still you see there are defensive frailties within Liverpool. They are leaking goals. They are conceding, but it's the goals that Salah is scoring at the other end that is the difference. I think yeah, kudos to him, kudos to Klopp coming into the second half. He changed something. He made sure that his team dominates the midfield because I think in the first half it looked like for some time they were just chasing shadows everywhere because City had the control of the game. They
Mhm.
just lacked a goal, I guess. So
City,
yeah,
yeah, City had some really good chances, and
yeah,
Allison made this
yeah.
save off Phil Foden, was it
Phil Foden, yeah, he was
in
clean
the
through,
first half?
and I don't know why he didn't shoot. I think it was Bernardo Silva who skipped past like five players or something like that, and made that pass for Phil Foden to be one on one with Allison, and he for some reason didn't shoot. But yeah, City had control. They came back uh, two times, going a goal behind. So yeah, what a game! What a game! Like this is how this is how a team should play uh,
Hmm.
when you face one of the top four clubs and try and make a statement. So yeah, I feel we maybe too early to say, but do you feel that you saw one of the champions playing the game?
Like I would definitely say contenders.
Mm,
Like these two teams are contenders again, along with Chelsea,
yeah,
because just it's just the brand of football that Chelsea is playing that they will be up there. It's
yeah,
difficult to beat them.
yep,
But City and Liverpool, they're mavericks.
yeah,
They can just turn a game around at a moment's notice, and before you know it, they're like already
yeah, yeah,
miles
yeah.
ahead in the game.
For sure, like the run of games, even right, like Liverpool and City have had for this
Oh,
after before this international break
they've
was
played.
exactly they played each other. So
Yeah,
that
even
is
Chelsea, Liverpool, and Man City, they've played each other already,
yeah, yeah. So that
and now
that
they
kind of
just
shows that they are still there. They're still not dropping points and still there and thereabouts. That is testament to the fact that they are contenders for sure. It looks like those three teams are going to pretty soon run away and make their own group one, two, and three, and just play within themselves
easy. I'm like
pretty
still
soon.
surprised. United is at is at fourth spot, level on points with City. I'm like, how is that even possible? That City and United are at same points, but then we played
Yeah.
Tottenham. Tot- can you imagine? Tottenham's just 2 points behind us
Yep.
with
Tottenham
with
and I
three
think
losses.
Arsenal is 3 points behind us, if I'm not wrong.
Like Arsenal's 4 points behind
Four
us.
point
They are,
behind us, but yeah,
but still, it's like we should have at this point raced, out of the blocks, and we should have created a gap with the
mm,
with the teams that we were facing. Right, we faced teams that were in the bottom half of the table. We played Southampton, we played Newcastle,
yeah,
we played Leeds United, we played Wolves. These are four teams that are in the bottom eight,
yep, yep.
and then
I'll stop you right there before you go into the whole United thing and make this
yeah, let's
podcast
not
turn
let's not
into
get there.
completely yeah. I just feel yeah. Let's wrap up the
Man
Liverpool
City,
City game.
Man City, Liverpool. Cool.
What do you think
I'm not
about
repping City.
yeah? What do you think about Sterling though? Like, do you see him staying at City next season because he came on in the second half? Doesn't look like he is in Pep's plan for this season. So do you feel like Sterling might be playing his last season?
It could be. I think there were news reports already that Arsenal was interested in signing Sterling this season.
That's not
But
going
then
to happen, but yeah.
Sterling was also interested in that move, but nothing moved because of the
Yep.
price. But yeah, as things stand, we are seeing that Jack Grealish has taken over,
Yep.
Sterling's
Yeah,
position.
yeah, yeah.
And frankly, he will for £100 million, you wouldn't keep Jack
He'll
Grealish
have
on
to.
the
He'll have
bench,
to
right?
start for sure. Yeah.
So he'll be there. However, with Pep, we see that he loves to rotate his players. And Sterling will get a run of games. Now it's on Sterling to decide if he
Prove
wants to
himself.
stay
Yeah.
there, or,
Mm.
or if he wants to start every single game, because Sterling is a good player.
Yeah, sure.
He has the skills. He's a little wasteful
Mm.
with the chances in the final third,
Yeah.
but then for a team like Arsenal, they're craving that quality. Or a team
Yeah.
like Tottenham, in fact, they're craving that quality.
Yeah.
So I feel Sterling can do better and set himself up at a different club other than City. He's done well at City. He's won titles. He went there to win titles. He's done that. I think
Yeah.
now it's
No,
time for a new
that
challenge.
that is fair. Like if you think about it, people have forgotten that Gundogan is not starting for City at this point in time because of an injury, right? And
Hmm.
Bernardo Silva, who came in his place, has kind of taken control. Like in the midfield, he looks like he is super press resistant. He can find spaces, those little pockets, and try and make that pass. So yeah, I think Sterling has to do something similar. If and when he gets his chance, he needs to make sure that he solidifies a spot for himself and tries to display someone. But yeah, you're right. Maybe it's going to be his last season with City. But that was something interesting that was floating around in the socials that I wanted to talk about. But yeah, that's
And
I think
probably
good.
Probably, I just throwing it out there. City could cash in on Sterling,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
exchange
That
him
is
with
what.
Harry
Yeah,
Kane.
exactly.
Like get Harry Kane in the winter, give them Sterling, so Tottenham does not feel like
They lost
they've been.
everything, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
they're robbed of everything. But yeah, you're right. Like, it's going to be interesting to keep an eye out for how Sterling does at City. Uh, but yeah, that is I think everything I had for Liverpool City. Um, yeah, I think I'm taking a look at the notes, and I think I have everything covered. Yep. Yeah. Now
Yeah,
you
this
can.
like we can. I
Yep.
think at this point we can just make this about Liverpool versus Man City. Like there's so much to talk about
Yeah.
those two teams. I can happily chat away being
Yeah.
a
Yeah. Yeah.
United
For sure.
supporter in City colors talking about Liverpool.
There's yeah, there's absolutely a lot to talk about from that game. Like the amount of takeaway, the amount of like analysis I've been seeing online for that game where people kind of model their play around it, trying
Hmm.
to replicate it. Teams might use some of those footage they see and kind of learn something from it. Can yeah, it's two managers going head to head with all sorts of tactical brilliance is what that what that game was all about. So yeah, pretty cool game. Finished 2-2. I feel could have gone anywhere.
Yeah, Klopp was cheeky to say that. I Liverpool deserved a win. I'm
Hmm.
like, dude, relax. Even
Yeah,
City
I think
deserved
it was a
to
yeah,
win.
it was a fair result. I think
It was a
yeah,
fair result.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That
Okay,
is the City Liverpool game.
let's shift
Mm,
our attention to
This let's go from yeah, let's cover from the bottom. Let's take one by one. I didn't watch Crystal Palace Leicester a lot,
me
not even the
neither.
highlights. So I'm not sure if there was anything of note there. I think Crystal Palace came back twice, if I remember
Oh no,
correctly,
they were 2-0 down and they
and they came back for 2-2. Okay, okay.
they came back for 2-2.
Hmm.
And which opens up a question about Leicester City
Hmm.
and their chances of just being close to top four, because we were talking about Leicester not having the best of starts and Leicester's clearly struggling in the defensive
Side,
side of things. Like
yeah,
they haven't been able to
yeah.
stop
I think
goals from going
it's
in.
it's the Europa League that might be having an impact, right? Like mid-season games or Thursday night games where you go and play some unknown team in some remote area with the size of the squad they have. It might be difficult for Leicester to cope up with
But they're
playing two
good.
games.
They do have
They do.
replacements, and the bench is like pretty. It's pretty strong. Like you look at Boubacar Soumare is there,
Hmm.
Madison's on the bench, Albright and Ayose Perez. Like
Javi
I see
Barnes, yeah,
names, yeah, Patsendaga. I see names on the bench who can come up and play and be rotated, and they're still quality players.
yeah.
But do you think it's like the back line that sort of letting them down with Soyuncu and Vestergaard probably not forming a great pairing or an immobile
Yeah,
pairing, I'd say.
for sure. I think last time around, I think it was Johnny Evans and Soyuncu who had that partnership for almost most of the season, right? Like, and majority of the season, and they managed to keep a lot of clean sheets and hold the defense together. But this time around, with a new partnership, like you said, and Ricardo Pereira kind of struggling to find his form, is not helping Leicester as well. Like he is giving those odd assists here and there, but
Mhm.
if you remember the amount of consistency he had last to last season was immense before he got that
Mhm.
injury, right? So yeah, if they manage to get some of the players in the back line in form, yeah, they might they if they are there and thereabouts around the top six, top five places,
Mhm.
come Christmas, they might make a push towards the top four, maybe a
They
late
could,
push.
because
But
they're
yeah,
they're missing NDD as well. I just read that NDD
yeah,
is
yeah,
out for
yeah.
four to
NDD
five
is
weeks,
out.
and
Yeah,
so they're like almost like United, right? Finding it hard to score goals despite the wealth of attacking talent that they have up
yeah,
front.
yeah. That's not helping them at all for sure. Yeah.
So
Yeah, right.
Crystal Palace versus Leicester City. Crystal Palace is doing what they can do best at this point in time, but Leicester City certainly punching below their levels at the moment.
Sure.
For
Yeah.
the next game, what who do you wanna pick up?
I think Tottenham Aston Villa. I just watched some highlights for the game
Damn,
quickly.
that's a surprising result. I was not accepting. I was
Ex-
not
ex-
expecting Aston Villa to lose to Tottenham in that game. What happened here?
I think it was my internet, but go ahead. I can
Nah,
hear.
I was like, what happened to the game here?
Oh, the
Like,
game.
how
Okay.
did Tottenham just come out with the win and Harry Kane's still not on the score sheet and doing doing nothing of significance?
Yeah, it's hard to believe, right? That Harry Kane still hasn't scored, and it's already been October, and yeah. But I think Tottenham got a little lucky, I would say, watching just by judging from the highlights. Uh, they got they got an own goal. Uh, Højbjerg of all people scored the goal. You won't expect Højbjerg scoring a goal. And Aston Villa are not a bad team as well, but they're definitely beatable at home. You would expect Aston to beat Aston Villa, and that's what Nuno managed to do. He was under pressure as well, given the run of form and the North London derby result. Uh, so yeah, good for Tottenham. They managed to win the game 2-1. I think Son got super happy. He got an assist or something like that, and he was super happy. But
Yeah,
yeah, Harry Kane not scoring, still the same. He is moving, dude, for sure. In January, he's off.
like he has to at this point in time. Because the longer it stays that way, the longer, Tottenham will delay the inevitable and probably prevent something magical happening with the squad that they
Yeah.
already have.
Yep. No,
So,
for sure. Yeah.
so Tottenham 2, Aston Villa 1, Tottenham trying to be there in the mix and just 2 points off top four, which is which is something not short of a miracle at this point in time. And talking about Tottenham,
Mm-hmm.
there's a certain guy, this dude from Netherlands, who goes by the name of Rafael van der Vaart. Is it Rafael van der Vaart or
Rafael van der Vaart. Yeah. Yeah.
Rafael
Yeah.
van der
Rafael
Vaart?
van der Vaart. Yeah.
At one point in time, I used to pick him a lot on my FIFA EA Sports teams. I
Yep.
used to like him as a player then on FIFA. Did not make it at Real Madrid. He came out with a comment
Mm-hmm.
at no end that Harry Maguire is a 90 million pound bag of shit who just who must be happy pocketing the insane amount of money that he does playing as a centre back for United.
Yeah.
And he said this to sort of, I don't know, to defend Virgil van der Dijk's slow start
Mm-hmm.
to this Premier League season. Like, but he came out with that comment. What standing does Rafael van der Vaart have? He's a good player, no doubt, but what standing does he have to make that sort of a comment on Harry Maguire?
Yeah. You would hardly take those comments. It's like with a pinch of salt, right? Like those kind of comments are to be paid less airtime, let's say, because I don't quite see why he would say that, or what was the reasoning behind it, but yeah,
I have a feeling Harry Maguire might just, if they meet in a bar in Greece, we'll
might
see
punch
another
him in the
incident of
face.
Harry Maguire ending up in a jail cell.
Yep. No, that is true. Yeah, I think, yeah, you're right. Like, yeah, we'll come to Manchester United a little later, but yeah,
Man, I'm like throwing in Man United players, but this guy doesn't want to talk about United. Okay,
yeah,
let's move on to West Ham versus Brentford.
shocking result, right? Like 2-1 to
1-2.
Brentford,
Yeah,
and yeah, 95th minute goal as well, last minute.
the bees
Uh,
are definitely buzzing at this point in time in the Premier League.
yeah,
Like they've,
not bad for a team first time in the Premier League.
yeah, and talking about them, like they look like a team that knows
How
what to
to,
do on the
yeah,
pitch
yep,
and what they know what the manager expects. The manager knows the team that he has. He knows the
yep,
best shape for them, and they are
Yeah,
executing it,
yeah.
making the
I,
third.
I think you said it last time, right? Like it feels like the Sheffield United
Hmm.
of last to last season, where everyone was performing to their optimum levels, and the
Hmm.
players knew what the manager wanted. They know what each of their responsibilities and roles are, and they did do it to the T for the whole
Hmm.
90 minutes and try and get something of the game out of the game. And yeah, they try and make the game as exciting as possible as well. Like uh, West Ham versus Brentford with Antonio back, you would expect that West Ham would get a result. David Moyes uh, would have loved to get a result at home for a newly promoted team, but they still managed to get that those crucial 3 points. Like, yeah, can you imagine how big those 3 points are for a newly promoted team who is just trying to stay up, and they are exceeding expectations now.
I mean, I would say at this point in time, Brentford is already safe. I think they just need
Yeah,
to get
yeah,
9 more points or 10 more points, and they'll be safe because I don't
they'll
see
be safe.
Norwich
Yeah,
City or Newcastle or Burnley
yeah,
catching up to even 20 points anytime soon
for sure,
at the
for
rate
sure.
at which they're playing.
Yeah, I think for sure. Like you're right. Like they are pretty close to getting safe in the Premier League. Almost 10 more points, three more games, 3 to 4 more games, and they should be safe. I think the teams like you mentioned, Norwich, Burnley, they played each other and took a draw. So that feels like they are not going anywhere
Hmm.
anytime soon. And what is the other team you said?
This guy, Newcastle. Or
Newcastle.
I
I
don't know what's happening to Newcastle this
Steve
season.
Bruce. Steve Bruce is under trouble,
Like, he's not a
but
bad manager,
yeah.
but the team, do you think, is just, you know, they shouldn't be there given the
Uh,
players that they have?
yeah, but yeah, Newcastle again is one of those teams which you would sleep while watching their games. Like the style of play they have is apart from I think I would say Saint Maximin, who is the
Hmm.
only player who gets the ball at his feet and tries to do something exciting by just
Hmm.
running at the defenders, being super direct and trying to create things. But other than that, they don't seem to have that quality. But somehow Steve Bruce manages to get them or make them stay in the Premier League. So I hope they stay up. But like you said, Burnley, Norwich, Newcastle look like contenders this time around.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Newcastle will survive this season. Though it's just the way they're playing. Maybe are they missing Callum Wilson a lot? Because
Yeah,
without
yeah,
Callum
yeah.
Wilson,
That
they
that's their
like
only goal scoring outlet they have for sure. Yeah. I
and
think
Joe Linton.
Joelinton, yeah, exactly. He's
Like,
not,
are you surprised that Steve Bruce chose to play Joe Linton on the wings, and
yeah,
and he played Alan Saint Maximin
through the
at the
middle. Yeah,
number 9 position?
yeah.
Like, because that's not Maximin's. You like cutting Maximin off from what he does best is to run at the wings
Run at the wings.
and
Yeah, yeah.
cut in and provide the decisive cross. I think he lost the plot there. I feel
Yeah, I
that
think
Joe Linton could do something similar.
Steve Bruce is struggling to get Newcastle a decent run of form as well. Like against Wolves, they managed to lose that game. Um, yeah, Wolves are finding
Wolves,
their feet under the new
Wolves have,
manager.
yeah. Is this their third win of the season?
I think third, right? Like if I'm not wrong, it's the third,
Yeah,
right?
third win. And is
Yeah,
that the third win on the trot? I think for them,
yeah,
almost.
yeah. They are, they
That's
are,
really.
yeah, they're starting to find their form a little bit. Raul Jimenez coming to form has helped them a lot. I think the leading goal scorer, right? If I'm not wrong.
Mhm.
He is providing assists. He is trying to score goals. So yeah, good for Wolves. They're
How
getting
about
those
this guy
results.
Huang Hee Chan? Is he like a good player? Somebody to look forward to? He's got 3 goals. Like
Hi,
somebody to
if
look out for.
if I'm not wrong, Wolves are playing a 3-5-2. If I'm not wrong. Um,
They're a
so
3-4-3 setup.
okay, okay. So kind of have three players up top who can create something, right? So that is, I think, very different from what Nuno had at Wolves. Like sit back, soak up, and then hit
Yeah.
things on the break. They now look like a team where they're trying to create, take possession of the ball, create uh create chances. So it's good. It's good for Wolves, I think.
And this could almost be a 5-4-1, like with Semedo and Marsal, who are defenders themselves,
Yeah, yeah.
but
But
they
very
all,
good going forward as well.
yeah, Semedo, I think and he wasn't good defensively.
Yeah,
He could make good runs up top, but probably as a wing back, he would experience good
yeah.
games. But yeah, Wolves definitely getting back up to levels that we've seen them performing at, and they do have the players to
Yeah.
do the same.
Yep. The next
Moving.
game, I think, would be Chelsea Southampton, a 3-1,
Oh,
3-1
Chelsea,
result for
Southampton.
Chelsea.
This game,
Did you watch the
I
game?
think, should have been a draw had that red card not been
The red
handed
card,
out to
yeah,
James Ward-Prowse.
yeah,
Like, do you think that was a red card? Because it was a 50-50 challenge and James Ward-Prowse was going for the ball. He wasn't going for the man.
yeah, yeah. I think it was a red. In my opinion, I think it was a red because he was not trying to injure the player or anything, but the, yeah, endangering the opponent, I think, is when you get a red card, right? Like when you go for a ball and your foot is so high that you are almost hitting. I think he hit Jorginho's shin, if I'm not wrong.
But
So
that could have been Jorginho as well, who
yeah,
could have
yeah,
collided
other way
with James
around as
Ward-Prowse.
well. But yeah, Ward-Prowse came in a little too aggressively for the referee's liking, and I think it was a fair red card, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, you're right. The red card kind of changed the game. Chelsea, 10 men down, Southampton had no chance. With the amount of options that Tuchel had on the wings, he brought on Ross Barkley. Like
I mean,
even even
don't get me started on Ross Buckley. I
he
will.
made that pass happen. Like wow, out of nowhere he came in and made that pass to Aspilicueta, who found Werner in space with a cross, low-driven cross. So yeah, that was bound to happen. 10 men down. You knew that Chelsea were going to exploit the wings, make the pitch as wide as possible to get
Mhm.
them out of shape and get in the goal. So yeah, it was expected after that.
Southampton's been unlucky. Like I
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
they they have draws in them against big teams, small teams. They have draws in them,
yeah.
and I feel they could just get through the season with draws and still survive.
Just about like yeah, you're right. Hasenhutel is managing to scrape some results. If he manages to get those draws with from the like lower bottom half of the table, then you know that Southampton are going to stay up for sure. So yeah, it's going to be interesting because they are managing draws with good teams. If they just manage to get those wins against those lower half teams, yeah, they can manage to stay up.
But I think with James Ward-Prowse, to me, it looks a little difficult for Southampton to challenge at the moment. Like I think he's their creative outlet. He's their creator.
He's the only one, yeah.
Yep.
I
And
think
without
no,
him,
yeah,
it's
you're right, but I think Livramento, that guy is rapid. Like,
he's a Chelsea.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
He's from Chelsea. Chelsea sold him to
yeah,
Southampton.
yeah. I think he got the penalty as well for Southampton. He completely skinned Chilwell and
Hmm.
got that penalty. So yeah, he's a player to keep an eye out for. If anyone of you guys is playing FPL, I think I am definitely getting him in my team. But Livramento is definitely an outlet for Southampton for sure.
But if Southampton does not get the goals, and which I don't see them getting, I don't see the point of keeping Livramento.
Yeah,
It's he can in a 0-0 he can get you 6 points, but I the
but you know
returns
the
are
the price he comes at.
what if he's less than four? Count me in.
He's 4.1 with 90
Uh,
minutes each game.
how's Simicas?
He's not starting every game, no, so yeah.
Livramento, something to consider. Now, if you hear Livramento, consider him for your FPL team. And
Yeah,
by the way, we'll be coming up with our own FPL chats.
this
We've been
week.
working
Yeah.
behind the scenes to prepare dashboards that will help you select players after the international break.
Let's do this. Anyways, I am planning to play a wild card. So let's do this. Let's kind of build my team from scratch using whatever insights we get from the dashboard and see how it
Hmm.
goes. Yeah. So I- I'll pretty sure not kind of it will not be my final team. I'll kind of before saving I'll make some changes, but let's try and get the team rolling at least, right? Like in a good shape, and then I can make the changes. So we can do that. We'll come up with something planned for the weekend, and we'll make an episode with the whole
Hmm.
wild carding thing and how the process works. So yeah,
Hmm.
something exciting.
Definitely, we could do that for sure. Let's move away from Southampton, Chelsea. Chelsea again, title contenders
Yeah,
at
yeah,
this point in
for sure,
time. Like
for sure.
they'll be there.
They'll
And
be
if you
there.
finish above Chelsea, that means you'll win the title. Somebody, I don't know who was it, maybe Michael Owen, who makes these comments. If you would, but if you finish above Chelsea, you're definitely winning the
Yeah,
Premier League. Is
yeah,
what I
winning the
think at
Premier
the
League.
moment.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. But yeah, yeah, that is right though. You're right.
Burnley, Norwich City. Let's just mention them for mentioning.
Yeah,
19th was nah, 18 versus 20th,
18 versus
0-0.
20th. Let's go.
They stay where they are. Nothing of worth to mention. Let's
Yeah,
move on.
let's move on. Yeah, I think the next game is Brighton Arsenal, which ended up in a draw as well.
Oh, this is like a game of
I
equals.
I catched some glimpses of the game and for like 15-20 minutes, but it looked like Brighton had everything under control, barring the goal. And Yeah, Arteta did a good job of coming out with a point. He would be happy for sure. Going away to the Amex Stadium is not easy. It's I think they will have horrors of the last season. If you remember Mope,
Uh,
he scored that 92nd or 95th minute winner or something like that, and got those 3 points for them. So yeah, he'd definitely be content with a draw. And
but this
Brighton would
Arsenal,
be a disappointed team for sure.
I expected this Arsenal team to do better.
Arsenal are not giving us the content we deserve for some time now, but I'm pretty sure they will make their fans happy in just give it some time. Come next run of games, they will make us happy. They will get us the content we need for sure.
Arsenal has a pretty easy fixture list, I would
Oh
say.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I definitely will have some Arsenal players in my FPL team, but just saying. I have a couple of in my mind, but yeah, I'm just saying.
Ramsdale, I want to throw this out. Ramsdale is like a good keeper
Yeah, yeah,
who
yeah.
can get
That's
points.
the one. That's the one I have my eyes on as well. I think Ben White, sorry, Ben White, Saka, those players. I have these couple of
Like
players.
pretty budget buys from Arsenal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just yeah, you can expect points here and there. You know that Arteta's teams are unpredictable. They can go for a 3-0 win anytime,
Yeah.
and you know that Saka is going to be pivotal for that Arsenal team.
Hmm.
He is at the center of everything. Everything goes through him, and he's one of the brightest sparks at Arsenal right now. One of the hottest
Hmm.
properties for the English squad as well. So yeah, Saka is a player to watch out for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All right, Leeds United, first dub of the season.
Oh, first up.
Finally,
Yeah, yeah,
finally of the mark. But given the results, they still find themselves out of the relegation zone, anyways. Leeds, I
yeah.
think, will be there, 15th,
We'll be
16th,
there.
but
Yeah,
will survive.
yeah. Yeah, they will. They will survive, but yeah, let's see. Let's see how it goes. It has been a struggle for Bielsa's team to get a point on board, like get 3 points on board. Uh,
But but consider this fact: Watford got so agitated by that loss. They're like, "Oh, we lost to
they
Leeds," that they had
sacked.
to
Yeah,
sack their manager.
yeah,
I mean, Watford is in nowhere in danger of relegation this season because we
yeah.
really know who the relegation candidates are. Watford will survive this season.
They have
But
put good run of games as well. It's not like they're underperforming or anything.
yeah, I was like at a shock. Like if any team had to pull the plug, I would have put my money on Newcastle because
Yeah,
Norwich and Wolves, Burnley are pretty happy with
yeah, yeah.
what their managers are
They
doing.
know what they get, so yeah, they are content with what they have. So yeah, you're right. Like I think Claudio Ranieri has already signed for Watford. He is the new manager. He is
The
coming
Tinker
in.
Man,
Yeah, he is coming
but
in, but yeah, I'm not sure why they
coming in
sacked
hot.
the manager. Yeah.
Coming in, coming in hot. But I don't see Claudio Ranieri doing any different
Any
than
different?
what
Yeah.
Zisco when he was there.
It's
It's just that Watford wanted a big name,
yeah,
but yeah, it's like I'm at a loss. I don't know what Claudio Ranieri will bring to that squad of
yeah.
players at this point in time.
Let's see. Let's see. It's interesting. But yeah,
Boy,
moving on. I think the
finally,
last
the
game.
elephant in the room is Man United versus Everton. Given an option at this point in time, I'll just finish
Let's
the
skip.
episode and I'll be like, hey, let's enjoy the international break. Let's give
Yeah,
Ole Ole some rest so that he can come back with some more bangers during
yeah.
his press conference.
The amount of toxicity within the fan club has been immense this whole weekend. Like, ooh,
I
people
mean,
are
this.
only in, people are only out, people are somewhere there. Yeah, I just don't want to get in the debate at all.
I mean, it's. We all know what Ole needs to do. Does Ole know what he needs to do?
I have been
That's
always of this
everybody's
stance,
guess.
right? Like I'm pretty sure you have heard it from me like for million times. Like Ole is going to get himself sacked. It's not going to be the fans. It's not going to be the owners. He is going to get himself sacked. That is it. With
And
the
this season, I think he'll have that pressure. And
yeah,
you're right. Because he has the players, he cannot complain he does not have the players. He has every player in the book that he wants. But
yeah,
his adamance with keeping Fred and McTee for 90 minutes
every
like
game.
every game, no rotation.
How
There is
how
no
how
rotation.
how can a central defensive midfielder get bounced off the pitch by a number 10 who is light on his feet, a player of Damare Gray's body type? Like, how do you even
Fred,
manage to
dude, if you look at that clip, Fred was in no danger whatsoever. He had
just
all the
foul
time in the
him?
world
Yeah,
to do whatever he wanted. But Fred, as we know, before he even if there's no pressure, he will be on the floor and he will
yeah.
misplace a pass.
That's just Fred things. Like, yeah, it's difficult to watch Manchester United. As a United fan, you would expect that these home games, 1 point out of six possible points, how do you even defend that? Like, there's
I mean,
there's
if you look at
nothing.
the stats, we had 72% possession. Everton had 28% possession,
Yeah,
but Everton had the best chances, like 12 shots on
yeah,
goal with
yeah.
28%
As opposed
possession,
to our 13.
as opposed to our 13 and with 6 shots on target. We definitely could have won the game when I think Cavani missed a sitter
But
or something.
what were your thoughts when you saw the team sheet though? Like putting Ronaldo on the bench. What are your first thoughts then?
I think that was, I wasn't surprised when I saw the team sheet because Ronaldo had played midweek
Hmm.
and we had this game, after Wednesday, early kickoff on Saturday. So I knew players would be rested, but Fred and McTominay, that's what I was expecting to be rested, not Paul Pogba.
Yeah, that is
Like you
that is
don't
the
rest your best player
that
if
is
and
the
bring in
I think that is the rumor that is going around as well. Like Paul Pogba is even not happy with what Ole is doing because if you, I'm not sure if you watched this, but the Villarreal game midweek when Pogba was taken off in the second half to bring in, I think it was Matic or
Fred.
someone or Fred or maybe, but when we won the game and everyone was on the pitch, I think Pogba was visibly disappointed and was frustrated to say the least with what Oli did. So I'm not sure how happy the players are in the dressing room. I'm not sure what kind of coaching tactics they work on. I'm Not sure if we have a style of play. I, I sometimes see some patterns here and there. Those are not repeatable. That those are not replicable anywhere. Yeah, it's super hard to kind of.
It's like he's just rotating everyone in the attacking lineup, thinking that they can get the goods. But how will they get the goods when they don't get the ball?
Yeah.
Like with 72% possession, we still don't get clear cut chances.
And you
We
had
know we are struggling.
Everton, a team which didn't have DCL and Richarlison for
Regardless, I mean, imagine if they had them,
those two.
we
Yeah.
would have been skinned. And this has been become our highlight. Like a team comes in, they're happy to give the possession away. They know we're not going to do anything with that possession, but we will commit bodies forward to
Yeah.
get a goal. Right now, we have to commit bodies forward and we leave spaces. And
So,
that's
yeah.
where the teams get the goals. And our double pivot does not work. Why do we need a double pivot now when we ourselves are creating a problem for ourselves with a double pivot?
But what do you think about this? Like, I found this really interesting article I was going through. So, it is just saying that getting Ronaldo in at Manchester United was a hype, right? Like, it was a grand event where everyone was super hyped for seeing Ronnie back at Old Trafford. But the article kind of was walking through the kind of team that Oli is trying to put together up top, where he needs someone who is pressing from the front, right? And you know that Ronaldo is not going to do that at his age. You see glimpses of that in the second half. You saw that with Cavani playing because he is super happy to press anyone and keep running for the whole 90 minutes. So, do you feel that the output of the team or the lack of goals or the lack of chances created is somehow related to that aspect where getting in
I mean,
Ronaldo might not have been the best? I know I'm not saying that Ronaldo getting in Ronaldo was the wrong move. I'm saying that maybe Oli is not able to use him the way he should be.
I don't think Oli is able to use any of his star players as they should be. And for 3 seasons in a row, we've seen that he is playing his attacking players out of their favored positions. Like we see Paul Pogba playing as either a defensive midfielder or we see him playing as a left winger. He's neither. He's neither of them.
Neither of those.
He's
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
box-to-box midfielder who just needs a defensive midfielder alongside him, and 4-3-3 suits him. That gets the best out of Pogba,
But what do you
and that
feel the combination in the midfield should be then? Like if you say McTominay and Fred are not fitting, we
I mean
saw
Matic and
McTominay.
Pogba.
Yeah, exactly.
Like even if Matic becomes the weak link, I
I
don't
agree.
care. I want goals. Like let's get those goals. Let's get a 2-0 lead in the first
And
half.
then take off
Then
Matic if you
bring
want.
in Fred
Yeah,
for all you care. Bring in
yeah, yeah,
Fred.
yeah.
I don't give a
I
shit. Let him run ragged. Let him fall on the ground. Let him get
agree.
tackles. Then substitute him and bring in McTominay as well. I don't care. But
Yeah,
as a manager at Old Trafford, you don't set yourself up to break opposition play. You set yourself up to go out there and
yeah,
kill the game as quickly as you can, given the names you have on that
yeah,
team sheet.
yeah.
Like
Just
any
finish
other
off the game
manager,
in the first 60 minutes and
ah,
then do whatever the
do
fuck you want. Yeah,
whatever and do whatever.
yeah.
You want Fred McTominay to be your home buddies, make them your home buddies, but don't keep them because Fred and McT were bullied by Abdullah Dukure and Allen.
Yeah,
For God's sakes. Allen
ah,
does not even have pace.
the
Boy,
saddest thing to say. Yeah.
like Dukure was had so much space to run. He like that goal.
He ran the midfield. He
He,
absolutely ran and rinsed our midfield.
I mean, that space. He had that single line ahead of him.
Yeah,
Nobody there. Fred gets caught out of the position everywhere. he. I think Fred carries away one of our defenders away because they know that Fred is gonna make some mistake. And now
Fred
one
is
of our
the
defenders is out of position. And we have space
um,
opened up. Like that goal should not have happened. We were
yeah,
not in any sort of a pressure to let that goal in.
you
Like
know
I so
you
want to.
You brought that great point. Like I would even be happy to see like you said, right? That Fred and McTominay are not working. Yeah, we see that. I don't know what the fuck is Oli seeing. Even I don't know, but he tried doing it in the Villarreal game where McTominay and Pogba started, and we got over and in the midfield. So yes, that didn't work. So let's go to the next combination, right? Let's try Van de Beek and Pogba. It doesn't work. Anyways, we are not putting in the results. We lose one more. What the hell? Let's carry on. Now you do these permutations and combinations and try and get the right mix playing in the midfield, right? Like try something new. We there are no fans currently. I don't hear in the stadium someone chanting Oli out or something like that, right? The fans are still behind him. They would still support a particular style of play if you manage to do it, right? So I don't understand why Oli is not trying those things out. Like you said, Matic and Pogba for me as well are the perfect midfield pair. And if you think that Matic, who is 33, 34, if he's old enough, why is he even there on the team? Just sell him. Just offload him then. If he's not able to play 60 minutes, just offload him. What's the point in having him on the team? So yeah, like I said to begin with, it's going to be Oli who is going to sack himself. Um, because the indications are there. Uh, what's his face? What's his face? His assistant manager for Oli. What's his face?
McPhelan.
Mick Phelan. Mick Phelan got a new contract as well. So so you know that there's not even a conversation of getting Oli sacked. So he's under no pressure from up top. So just do your thing. Just try a different combination, see what works, what does not, and move things around. But yeah, the stubbornness is going to come back and haunt him for sure.
It will, like, he wants to present a strong face, but in his press conferences, I don't see anything coming out as well. He's like
Anything.
just
Yeah.
he beats around the bush.
Yeah,
You ask him
he
something,
says
he'll
the
beat
same
around the
thing
bush.
again and again. Yeah.
Oh, we got to batten down the hatches. Oh, it's a tricky, fixture list coming up. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Get the basics right. Like, we all want you to win.
Yeah.
Nobody wants you out. Just let lose your players. These are match winners that we're talking about,
Yeah.
who are just sitting there and wasting their time on the pitch.
Yeah. It's so sad to see like those caliber of players trying to like make things happen on the pitch and not even getting the ball at their feet. Even though we had, like you said, 72% of the position, we created
I
shit.
mean,
So
David Moyes would do better than this with this team.
yeah,
He's shown that at West Ham already. If his team is there, he can work wonders. Rafa Benitez can work wonders with this team. Jurgen Klopp, had he had this team, we would have won titles already.
yeah, for
Like, I'm
sure,
not even kidding. He
for sure,
he gives you the goods with a limited team. But
for sure.
Ole, you give him everything, and he's still struggling. So
Yeah, it's
yeah,
just it's a sorry state of affairs at United. But yeah,
hopefully this international break will give him some time to think, because
yeah,
United gets into a genuinely tricky fixture list, I would say, with
terrible run of fixtures.
Leicester City, Tottenham, and
Leicester,
then
Tottenham, Atlanta,
Liverpool,
Liverpool, Atlanta,
and I
and
think we
City.
finish it off with City as well.
Yeah,
Atlanta will hammer us. Like, Atlanta doesn't even need possession. They will be happy giving us the ball. And
yeah.
then with Fred and McTominay there,
They're
they
going to
know that.
smash us, dude. Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
And if
that's
Atlanta smashes us in that game, like in that third Champions League game, if Oli loses that game, Ronaldo is not going to be happy
yeah. He's
dropping out of
anyways not
Champions
happy.
League.
Yeah,
And if Ronaldo isn't happy and he wants out of the club, you know that Ronaldo is not going out of that club.
the pressure will be piling up on Oli. Yeah,
So he's bringing it up on himself. And we know,
yes.
right? It's individual brilliance at this point in time.
Vibes
Like,
FC.
that's
Yeah,
been bailing him out. I wasn't wrong. It's been individual brilliance. We should not have won the
it's
Wolves game. We somehow won the Wolves game. We somehow drew the game against Southampton. We should not have.
vibes. Just vibes, buddy. Vibes.
So yeah,
Vibes, movements. Progress FC. I'm trying to think of those terms that Vary throws around, that Varun throws around.
Yeah, that's our
Yeah,
that's
that's
our
our whole
uh,
game plan now.
treble,
Yeah.
Premier League treble.
Yep.
Oh, player management, vibes, signing Ronaldo, individual brilliance.
Yep.
That's the treble that we achieve week in week out. And this is the same guy Oli who said after Mourinho came in second, oh, and Manchester United,
Those are not
you
the
know,
standards. Yeah.
yep, we need to win the title.
Yep.
And then the same Oli came up after his third
Same.
position. Was like, with the things that we've achieved with this team, third is an amazing place to be after the rebuild. I mean, come on, shut the fuck up. You just
Yeah.
you know that you're not up to the mark at this point in time.
Yeah. I am not sure if he, even if like if he even realizes that he's under pressure, because he's just oblivious to the fact that there is any pressure. There are no expectations. I can just play with those vibes FC kind of stuff and get results. But yeah, I don't
And
think
we
it will
know
take
we'll
him
be
that
getting
far.
results. We know we'll be getting results with this
Here
team.
and
That's
there,
what we
here
do.
and there. Yeah.
And man, I just want Liverpool to thrash us at
Yeah.
OD.
Yeah.
If that
If
thrashing happens,
then he's
like
gone.
I don't want like that'll be a terrible week.
Yeah.
But if
But
that thrashing happens, like I think Oli's position would become untenable
yeah.
as a coach. Zidane's lying in
Yeah.
the wait, and Zidane gets the best out of Cristiano.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's true. Let's see what happens though. But yeah.
Okay, so let's end it there. We are at the 60-minute mark already, finished
Yep.
up with Man United. We wanted some good vibes rolling in, some individual brilliance thrown in, and some passion from Pep and Jurgen
Yeah.
Klopp
Yep.
talked about.
Yep.
Now it's the international break. Within this international break, we'll get some FPL, advice and guides coming in. We'll be sharing our dashboards and we'll
Yep.
walk you through how best to position yourself in game
Some
week 8 and
insights and
future.
something. Yeah. Yeah.
And let's make good use of this wild card if you haven't
Yep.
used that already.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, we can definitely do that. Like if anyone has any questions or anything like that, we can try and get some data points and see how it might be answered. And yeah, we can start it off with my team, and then we can do it with your team and see how we perform, and let's see how that works.
Alrighty. I will take that as a cue.
Yeah,
Have an amazing week
week.
ahead, and we'll see you pretty soon. Stay safe. Take care. Bye bye.